As you take this journey of self-realization and understanding the divine within you, you're going to have some questions. And a lot of these questions are going to be extremely valid. So someone asked me an interesting question about understanding the reality that we are all God. But does that mean it's okay to experience anger? Understand that anger is an indicator, just like all of our emotions. Our emotions are ultimately indicators and enhancers. They indicate where we are, ultimately, if we are aligned with our purpose and our truth. Also, emotions are enhancers. They either enhance the ability to take action because we're here in physical bodies, therefore we are here to take physical action upon the things that we desire in our hearts and our minds and our spirits. When we get into things like anger can be an indicator that you are not in alignment with who you are or whom you desire to be. Many times we desire to be people of peace and happiness and joy. And so anger seems to conflict with that. And so we feel like it isn't right to experience anger. And I can understand that. But what I want to say is that anger is natural, just like all of our emotions. They all have a purpose. Everything has a purpose. With anger, on the other hand, the reason why anger seems to be something that is dark and something that we do not want to experience is because many people have been essentially led by anger rather than leading and controlling their anger. Mindfulness is key always. Mindfulness is the foundation of your spiritual journey. So with mindfulness, you get to understand and you get to use that mindfulness, that ability to actually control and manipulate, maneuver, influence all of your emotions and everything about you and everything about everything, essentially. But with mindfulness and the ability to observe your anger, then you gain control over it, and then you can use it to actually enhance. You can use it to actually make positive change. When you look at nature, which is the greatest spiritual teacher we can all have, nature has moments of anger as well. Storms, forest fires, tornadoes, tsunamis, even the exploding stars that happen all around us in the galaxy are expressions of anger. The difference is that anger has purpose. It has reason, right? And it is also creating more of something else. Whereas when we think about our own anger, it often creates destruction. It often creates a mess, right? When we are able to actually apply mindfulness to the feeling of anger, then we can apply reason, we can apply productivity, we can apply the ability to actually create something more. You have to really sit with the idea that anger does have a purpose. Now, there are a few questions that I often ask myself when it comes to addressing my own anger. What I really want you to take from this is that anger, the expression of anger, especially unproductive anger or reactionary anger, is that when you are angry and you have an outburst, it is because you are not being mindful at the moment. Whenever I can think about times where I've had some kind of outburst or some kind of explosion of anger, it is because I wasn't mindful, right? When I'm in that space of practicing mindfulness and something happens that triggers a feeling within me, then I am able to really process through it, ask myself a series of questions, and then in a matter of 5 seconds, that anger is subsided, it is gone, and is transformed into something else. And these questions are simple. It is, okay, why am I angry? Like getting into the root of it, acknowledging just something simple. Oh, okay, that was a little bit annoying. Okay, this person didn't hear me or listen to me. I didn't feel, appreciated. You can, just say something simple like that. And then once you do that, you ask yourself, was this real? Was this interaction or was this thing that I'm feeling angry about? Is it real? Right? Essentially, you're asking yourself, did this person intentionally mean to hurt me? Oftentimes that is no, they did not intentionally mean to hurt you. It's just that they may be speaking a different love language. They may not have the skills to communicate to you effectively, or they just simply are just having a bad day and it has nothing to do with you. So you have to take all those things into account, have this conversation with yourself. And when you do that, then the feelings of anger subsides, it goes away. And then you can ask yourself, okay, where can I take responsibility for what has happened? Taking ownership of your role in all of this that is happening. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is by far the most powerful question you can ask yourself about anything. This will change the way you pursue and the way you think about life. When you ask yourself about what role you have in this and how can you take more responsibility over your role in it, it empowers you. It gives you all the power in the world. Because oftentimes when we are unhappy, when we are miserable, when we are sad, when we are just living a life that isn't filled with fulfillment and joy, it is because we are giving away our power to other things. And we are not taking ownership of our ability to basically take ownership of our life. But when you actually ask yourself, okay, what is my responsibility? What is my role in this? It also gives you the opportunity to think about how you could do something different. So that is a matter of asking yourself, how can you take action? There are moments where you cannot take any action. There are moments where everything is out of your hands. Instead of taking action, you're going to do what I call non-action, which is more of an internal thing. And that internal thing is really based on understanding the significance of surrendering and letting it go. It is like, being in a relationship with somebody and you're having this conversation about, oh, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And they don't do it for their reasons, right? They don't do it. It's not about why they didn't do it or the fact they didn't do it. It's then becomes an opportunity for you to ask yourself, okay, do I take action? Do I do it myself? Or do I simply surrender to the fact that they are just not capable or willing to do it? And when you are able to surrender and let it go, it's a different kind of spiritual experience. It takes work, but it is a profound experience. Now, it applies to all things in life. You want to ask yourself, what can you do about it? If you can't do anything about it, then you want to ask yourself, okay, how can you adapt and how can you learn from your inability to do something about it? With anger is about transformation. It is about change oftentimes. Understand that your anger can be practical. In fact, it should be. Everything that we experience can be used in a way that is practical and transforming and evolving and enhancing our spiritual journey in our life. So with that, I hope that helps you to understand the significance of the things about ourselves that we may not like anger. I know I don't like it when I get angry, but I know that every aspect of who I am can be of service to me, can add value to my life if I am constantly being mindful while I am experiencing that. And when you are mindful, then you can use every aspect of who you are to create the life that you desire, to create the existence that you deserve, the experience that is necessary for you to continue to evolve. And so I hope that helps you. I'm sure we will talk more about this as you continue on with me on this journey. Thank you so much. Peace and abundance always.